Hey all, today I'll be looking at Javier Pastore's 89 rated card. Pastore can be completed by doing the second Serie A League Objective, and I'll link in the description how it can be done. In regards to getting this card, it took me about 6 hours to do. The grind time will mostly be in the 15 Serie A wins. Hopefully the rest of the objectives you can get them done easier just by having someone who's helpful and letting you score a goal, give a goal, score a goal, that kind of thing. Or if you message someone for the game, hopefully they'll help you out. So Pastore's card is 89 rated and it's set to a cam. On the carded stats, it really does look like quite impressive stuff. 90 passing and dribbling, 87 shot and 84 pace, really good stuff. 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot, and a low high work rate, so low defending and high attacking, which is perfect for someone in the attacking sense. Sounds amazing, right? So he is 6'2", has a high average body type, similar to the likes of Draxler in my previous review, and the likes of Trezeguet, Calvert-Lewin, and Perez. Looking at the stats, there's a lot of really good stuff. So you've got 93 shot power combined with 88 long shots and 88 positioning. So the agility in passing is a mix of 90s and high 80s in the areas you would care about. Traits-wise, it's not really anything to shout about. Your technical dribbler and playmaker from the AI side, and then you've got flair and injury prone, although I'll note I never had to use an injury card on him in the 13 games I played. Some housekeeping, I average between Div 4 and Div 3 on Xbox. I play a mix of 4-2-3-1 to begin the game, and then if I really need a goal or I'm struggling to score, then I switch to a 4-1-2-1-2, so the diamond formation. I'll be using Pastore in the cam role in both of them. I'll have him set to stay in his position and we'll kind of see how we get on with him. So I'll go straight into the goals for Pastore. This one's quite nice, little bits of turning and then smacked into the corner. And this one was in quite a tight game as well, so not too bad to begin with. Kind of moving on to the next one here. Nice little challenge on the defender against Rio as well, pretty solid, and then a nice little dink over the keeper. And then unfortunately this is kind of where it starts to dry up for me, to be honest. So here, this one pretty much on a plate, easy goal to be honest. And then next one is actually a penalty. So penalties are actually probably one of the stronger points. With a Hunter, you're looking at about 98, I think it was, or 97. And you can see here that even though I hit it yellow, it goes right in the top corner against Pope as well. So that is a pretty solid goal. Unfortunately, this is kind of where we now start moving into the misses already. So he only scored 4 goals in total for me. So you see here, makes a nice little run. And then here, I think I maybe should have taken a shot, but to me that's quite slow in terms of how quick he was to get that shot off. And here, a nice little finesse shot into the left corner. He doesn't have the finesse trait, so that was probably about as good as it gets for the finesse shot on that one there. So here, nice little movement to get ready for the shot. And there, I really would expect something a lot better than that. It was a very poor finish. And this is kind of the thing I noticed quite often. Here, I wouldn't necessarily say that was more on him, that was more on me for being quite outlandish on that shot there. But here again, you'll kind of see, in a really good position. Puyol was budging him a little bit, but he was still riding the challenge well, but he really spoons it wide. I think that's kind of the story here, is that, the really good players are consistent all the time, but what I found with Pastore is he just wasn't consistent enough. Here, another finesse shot into the top corner, but no, couldn't make it. Again, goalie might have done quite well on that one. Here, trying to take on his left foot. 4-star weak foot, I would probably expect a lot. Now I move on to the passing. One thing I did notice is, hitting it to the near post. I don't know if it's Puyol or if it's him, but I got 3 goals with Puyol and I was very surprised. It's been a long time since that kind of meta of Ronaldo at the front post has worked for me. And I don't know if this is things to come or if something has changed, because you can see here again, just gets up high, and that's against the new Joe Hart card as well. Then again, another one for Puyol. So I scored 3 goals with Puyol in total. Just nice little headers, and the mix of ones there going from right to left and left to right. This one, apologies about a bit of the lag on that one there. But you can see Kessie drives in and then gets a really nice header. In terms of the other assists, I'm not really too fond on how his actual assist came about, because with that one there, it's on Rooney's left foot, and I think Rooney has to do a lot of the work there to actually get it in. And here, a good little turn from Pereira, not necessarily a ball that's cut through the defence. No, done a nice little ball roll to then get it onto the right foot and get it into the right corner. Here, nice bit of space for Pastore. I like the way he was actually in position to receive the ball, which was quite good. Gomez still has to run quite a while with the ball to then ride a challenge and then put it in the corner. So it feels a bit like a dubious assist. Here, again, what you're kind of noticing is these balls aren't necessarily, on a plate for them to finish. The striker or midfielder is still having to do a fair bit of work. This one here was one of the better ones, although, a bit dubious again, because this one was against a weaker opponent. You see I'm already 5-0 up in 42 minutes. You had Mason Holgate at the back as well. So it's a bit of a difficult one to call there. Here, nice little run against the same opponent. And then Pereira, slots it through. I think against the tougher opponents, that's where you find he just... So you kind of see here, Pastore makes a nice little run. Gets tackled off the ball a little bit, but regains it, gets onto Pereira, and then Pereira takes an alright shot with his left foot. Pretty difficult one there to hit, I'd say. Here, Rooney, nice little run through the middle, and I really messed this one up big time. There's not a very good shot at all in the slightest. So nice little movement by Papu Gomez there to get through the middle. And then, unluckily, doesn't finish there. So I'd say good stuff from Pastore there. Pretty solid. Here, I really like this one. Gets the ball at the halfway line, and you can see I'm on the ultra-attacking because Alex Moreno is getting down the wing. He's my wing back. And then ultra-attacking, I get him to go down forward. So there's a lot of space there for him. Here, Pastore kind of in the right place at the right time. Nice little bit of skill to make the defender make a move. Then a good ball through. Then here, that's part of that shooting, that 90 plus shot power, and it really didn't count for anything there. And here, that's against Diego Carlos headliner card there, really good card by the way. Struggles to kind of get space and then get a shot off. Nice little ball through to Papu Gomez. You can see he makes a nice little run in the middle. I try to get the through ball onto him, but the defender's covered really well in the middle, and it's gone on to Kulusevski instead. Here, opened up a little space, played a nice little ball through. And then it's ultimately resulted in, a really good challenge from one of the defenders there to get the ball cleanly. Here, Pastore, right place, right time. And then a really good first time ball. Really bad shot. Here, a little give and go. And this is one of the problems, too inconsistent for me. That seemed like a simple ball, and he really didn't play it too well. Here, he's made a little space, a little ball through. Not too bad. Here, hitting a long ball through. Gomez against Papu Gomez. And I think the ball was pretty poor, and Papu Gomez is probably the reason that play's been recovered. Again, a little through ball to Blanc. It was an okay one. Probably wanted it more to Papu Gomez there. And then try to recover the ball, and then Tavernier really got the better of him there, which he gets the best of a lot of people, to be fair. So here he sees in a lot of space again, and I thought that was a really good ball. Papu Gomez on the shoulder, and I probably should have done better there. Nick Pope on him, and then Joe Gomez on him as well. Here, unfortunately, not another Puyol goal. And then I've gone for a whipped cross instead there to see what happened, hopefully spill out, but keeper's done okay there and handled it pretty easy. See a lot of good space there for Papu Gomez to run onto, and then I kind of fluff it up there. So he does do some nice things, but the problem I just find is he's just far too inconsistent, and that's the biggest issue. Nice little dink up, kind of changed the way the defender was moving to him. Here, running with the ball, and then a good little area, but that ball it needed to finish a little earlier. Again, very similar situation this time. Kulusevski gets onto it, and then the keeper's made a nice little save. Pretty straight down the middle, to be fair. Simple little 1-2. I'd hope it went more to Gomez's right so he can run onto it instead of kind of taking it on his left. And you can see Pastore run onto it, and that's one of the biggest issues I find. Anytime he runs onto it against good defenders, he really struggles. Nice give and go of Kulusevski there. pretty solid play. Ultimately ends up in a half chance that doesn't really materialise. There he is in that position, waiting for it behind the strikers, in front of the defenders, but behind midfield in that sweet spot. Nice little ball out to Gomez. And then he starts making his way into the box, but only Papu Gomez gets challenged. See here, runs with the ball okay. That ball really pushes him out really wide. And I tried to get a little through ball up to him. Really, probably not on that one. A little chipped through ball. That was one of the ones I found the most really not happening. Those chipped through balls didn't happen at all. So in terms of on the ball, I do think he's very clunky. The amount of times a pass would come into him, he'd take one touch, and that touch would make the ball bounce. And it's similar with how his strides are. You can see like when he runs with the ball, his strides and the way he knocks the ball really far. The ball really isn't close to him. Like obviously with Messi being the best, he's probably the polar opposite of that. Here, nice little header into Papu Gomez to give him the ball. You kind of get a feel for how he's turning. Nice little shimmy on the ball there to make the defender go flying. And then went for that whip shot and it really didn't pay off. And he's got pretty decent shot power and long shots, so it's really surprising how often he would just hit it wide, not even on target. Again, just showing you more highlights of just how when he gets the ball, I frequently found he gets challenged, or by the time he lets go of the ball, the defender's on him. Could be some argument about the ping in this game. I can see the ping is quite high in this one. And then some of the other clips, it's in the 120s. So pretty poor on the ping side, but still, even in other games where like this one here, you see it's going from like 16, 30, 20, not too bad. He's getting taken down by players on a constant basis. So Pastore scored 4 goals for me over 13 games and he had 16 assists, but I'm really not impressed about how they came about. When it comes down to it, should I do this card? I think there's a couple of ways to look at it. Is 6 hours of friendlies worth it for something I deem as fodder? With managerial masterpiece, a lot of people aren't quitting on golden goal as they need to get loads of goals and assists and lots of other objectives to get these done. I probably rate the card as a 5 out of 10 and I've placed him in the bad, close to good category. For me, I really wouldn't recommend this card. If you're in need of a cam for a Serie A team, then I would avoid him. If you have the moments Dybala, stick with it. If you don't have him, then I'd probably look towards either Papu Gomez, team of the group stage, or Henrik Mkhitaryan's headliner card. You're looking at about 120k for Papu Gomez and 60k for Mkhitaryan on Xbox, so it's probably a little bit more on PlayStation and probably a lot more on a PC. Papu Gomez is a really nil player, super nice to play with, has a great shot on him, and I'm constantly surprised at how good his 4-star weak foot is. Mkhitaryan provides that link to El Shaarawy. He has a 4-star skill moves and a 5-star weak foot, and is much nicer to use than Pastore in my opinion. And when you look at the cards, Mkhitaryan really doesn't look like much, but he's definitely, I feel like, a smoother player than Pastore, probably due to his height and the lean body type. I honestly believe this card won't make your team better unless it goes in an SBC. Thanks again for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm always looking for feedback, and I love what everyone has said on YouTube and Reddit so far, so please leave a comment if you've got anything good or bad, or if there's any players out there that you want to see reviewed. Thanks again, and until next time.